Hey, y'all, welcome. Listen, today's message, my prayer is that it is so encouraging to you if you've been feeling like stopping, if you are seeing that you're just stuck in the same cycle, you know you want to get some things done, you have this big vision, but you keep stopping. That is who I'm talking to today. And it's all about understanding how to go in order to grow. So it's going to be juicy. I pray. I pray that it encourages you today. Don't go anywhere. When we come back, if you want to read along, I'll be reading from James 2. So I'll take a short break and we're going to jump right into this message. All right, welcome back. By the way, if you don't know me, I'm Erica Latrice. My passion, my purpose is helping you to live yours. And if you haven't done so already, subscribe to this channel. That's the best way that you can support what I'm doing. But I want to go ahead and get into this message today because it encouraged me so much. And my prayer is that it will encourage you. So this is James 2, and I'm going to start at verse 1. I'm going to try to read quite a bit of it without getting too greedy that it might take a long time. But my brothers, as you hold out your faith in our glorious Lord Jesus Christ, do not show favoritism. Suppose a man comes into your meeting wearing a gold ring and fine clothes, and a poor man in shabby clothes also comes in. If you lavish attention on the man in fine clothes and say, "Here is a seat of honor," but say to the poor man, "You must stand or sit at my feet," have you not discriminated among yourselves and become judges with evil thoughts? That like continue to read. This is again James 2, but I want to keep going. So this is verse 14. I'm kind of skipping down, but again, read the whole thing for yourself. What good is it, my brothers, if someone claims to have faith but has no deeds? Can such faith save him? Suppose a brother or sister is without clothes and daily food. If one of you tells him, "Go in peace, stay warm and well fed," but does not provide for his physical needs, what good is that? So too, faith by itself, if it does not result in action, is dead. And I want to talk about that because even with that scenario of how we can treat some people a certain way because of how they present themselves, or we're treated a certain way because of how we present ourselves, and then turn around and mistreat someone else. But we say we have faith, but we say that we have grace, but we say that we have mercy. And I know we've all been guilty of this at times. But even furthermore, when he talks about the action side of it, don't just look at people and say, "Sis, I'm just going to pray for you." But we don't do what's within our power to do. We don't do what's in our hands to do to help others or to further the vision that God has given us. And I want to talk about this because I feel like one of the biggest things that can rob our destiny, that can rob our purpose here on this earth, is the inability to take action. It's easy to be excited about things. It's easy to build up that hope. It's easy to live in a dream world. But when it comes down to taking the daily action, that's where many of us can get tripped up and fall short. So today, I just want to encourage you to take action unapologetically. I'm not saying that you have to just be running all around being the biggest risk taker on earth and being all out of alignment. But what I am saying is that more often than not, it's those things that happened at the basics, usually at the beginning of something when we're first excited about the vision or the opportunity. That's when we are unapologetic about taking action. That's when we're showing up. That's when we're in go time and go mode, and we do those things. However, it's in the consistency that you're going to see the fruit. It's like planting a seed. And I've talked about this example before, but I want to give you this example. I'll never forget having a neighbor in the past whose yard was so perfect. Like her yard was just so beautiful. The grass looked like it came straight out the store. Like her yard was so beautiful. And mine, not so much. My yard was so ugly, in fact, that she voluntarily came over to help me. And that's when she taught me a bit about like the different types of soil and the seeds, and that there were some seeds for the shade, some seeds for high sunlight, all of these things I didn't know. And I remember my excitement that my yard wasn't going to look so ugly anymore. So I followed her instructions and I started planting the seeds. Now, for a while, my yard was just covered in dirt. And it was a little disheartening because I'm sitting here like, well, I listened to you and your yard is looking like a carpet and mine is looking like a landfill. Like, why is nothing happening? But eventually, those seeds started to sprout. And eventually, those seeds started to grow. And eventually, my yard started looking like hers. But there were days where I didn't want to do what was necessary. There were times where she taught me that when the grass started turning brown, to clear that part out, to flip it, to put some new seeds down, what time of the day I should be watering it. There was so much work that went into that final product where our yards were looking very similar, where she was able to teach me what it took to get my yard to that place. And I say that to you all today. There are some times where you're not going to see the immediate fruit. It may not look like things are changing as quickly as you expected. But when you keep hitting the gas and then hitting the brake, then you hit the gas and then you hit the brake, every time you're hitting the brake, you're throwing yourself back. Just like that grass seed, every time that I would go a day or so and forget to water it, or every time I would ignore the instructions that she had given me, I was setting myself back so far. And that's what happens when we are just filled up with faith. We're excited, but we're not carrying it out. We're not the hands and the feet of Jesus that we're being called to be, or you're not seeing the results that you've been praying for because you're not adding your action to that vision, to that prayer, to that faith. And I get it. I know everyone watching me, y'all are like, all right, I don't have that walk with Jesus. I don't even know what you're talking about. That's why I encourage you all to seek God for yourself. You can go read this verse that we talked about today, James 2, for yourself. But understand that it's not enough for us just to have the vision. It's not enough for us to just be excited about those things. It's so important that we let our actions to line up with the vision. So many of you have a vision. There's something you stepped out on. And now today I'm telling you to go back to the basics. What was working when things were flowing for you? What were you doing at the time that you were excited and you were starting to see results and things were happening? That is what today's message is about. Keep the action going. Don't let the vision die. Don't let the purpose die. Don't let your faith die by not lining up your actions with your faith. So that's it. That is my encouragement for you today. If this encouraged you, tell someone, tag someone. You can stay connected with me across social media at Erica Empowers. Now, if you are someone, you have a message, you're ready to start standing on your story, I have the beautiful, amazing privilege to work with women around the world, literally internationally, to help them turn their message into a movement. So I've created some great resources for you, and I have a private group where we just talk about how to piece your message together, how to add the action. I didn't even think about this, how to add that action to your faith. So you're not just hype. You don't just have a business. You don't just have a book that's collecting dust. You don't just have a message, but no one ever gets to hear it. You can add actual action and excellence and stewardship to your faith. So if that is you, you can go to increaseyourvoice.com. I have a starter kit there. It's going to help you start getting your message together, get connected with media outlets, get your speaking kit together. Just really start putting those tools in place to get your message out there to the level that you've been called to. So if that relates to you, or if you can relate to that, go to increaseyourvoice.com to get that starter kit, or you can comment if you missed what I just said, and I'll connect with you so that you can get the support in that area. But that's it, y'all. Go be so amazing today that people can't help but get excited when they get connected with you, and I will see you in the next video. Take care.